Have you ever caught yourself feeling a little weaker than yesterday, or waking up in the middle of the night, wondering if these struggles are just the inevitable signs of getting older? Maybe your memory isn't as sharp as it used to be, or you find yourself a bit more unsteady on your feet than before. It's easy to accept these as just part of aging, but what if that's not the whole story? What if feeling tired, forgetful, or fragile isn't simply because of your age, but because of small, overlooked habits that quietly chip away at your vitality? These subtle changes can sneak up on us, making us believe there's nothing we can do. But the truth is, many of these challenges are far more manageable than we think. In this video, I want to share 7 simple, everyday changes that can help you feel younger, stronger, and more energized after 70. These aren't big, overwhelming lifestyle shifts. Just small steps you can start right now that add up to big improvements. Stick with me, and by the end, I'll reveal the one habit that can transform your day from tired to vibrant. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Habit 1. Drink plenty of water every day. It's easy to overlook something as simple as a glass of water. Maybe you recognize this scene. You're sitting in your favorite chair by the window, reading the morning paper, or watching the birds of the feeder, and you suddenly notice your mouth feels dry. You get up, a little slower these days, pour yourself a small glass of water, and take a sip, almost as an afterthought. You might not even finish it before you move on with your day. If you're like many people over 65, you might find yourself drinking less water than you used to, not because you want to, but because you just don't feel as thirsty as you did when you were younger. Sometimes it's easier to reach for a cup of coffee or tea, or simply forget about hydration altogether. It seems harmless, just part of the normal rhythm of aging. But here's a question. What if this dry mouth, these spells of fatigue, the occasional dizziness or fuzzy thinking, what if they're not just signs of getting older? What if these little moments are your body's quiet plea for more water? We often accept feeling tired or achy as inevitable, but could it be that something as basic as hydration is making a much bigger difference than we realize? It turns out that as we age, our sense of thirst naturally declines. By the time you feel thirsty, your body may already be mildly dehydrated. For seniors, this can be especially important. Even mild dehydration can lead to headaches, confusion, joint pain, dry skin, constipation, or even an increased risk of falls. Studies from the National Institutes of Health have shown that older adults are more likely to become dehydrated without even noticing it, simply because the body's warning signals aren't as strong. This isn't just about comfort. It's about protecting your health, your independence, and your day-to-day well-being. Let's look at the science for a moment. Every cell, tissue, and organ in your body needs water to function. Water helps your heart pump blood, your kidneys filter waste, your brain sends signals, and your skin stays soft and supple. When you're not getting enough, you might notice that your energy drops, your mind gets cloudy, and your mood isn't quite as bright as usual. It can also make existing health conditions worse, like high blood pressure or arthritis. The body is remarkably resilient, but it can't do its best work without enough water. So, what can you do? The good news is that improving your hydration doesn't have to be difficult or disruptive. You don't need to carry around a gallon jug or force yourself to drink when you're not thirsty. Instead, try making water a gentle part of your daily routine, something as familiar and comforting as your morning cup of coffee. Start your day by drinking a glass of water before anything else. This helps wake up your organs and set a healthy tone for the hours ahead. Keep a water bottle or a glass nearby, at your reading chair, beside your bed, even in the car, as a visual reminder to sip throughout the day. If plain water doesn't appeal to you, try adding a slice of lemon, a few berries, or even a sprig of mint for a bit of flavor. You can also enjoy herbal teas, broth-based soups, or water-rich fruits like watermelon and cucumbers. For those who take medications or have health conditions that limit fluid intake, always check with your doctor about what's right for you. But for most healthy seniors, the general rule is to aim for 6 to 8 cups, about 48 to 64 ounces, of fluids daily, adjusting for your needs, activity level, and climate. You don't have to drink it all at once. Little sips throughout the day add up. Let me share a real story. There's a woman named Mary who lives just outside Cincinnati. She's 74, with a love for gardening and puzzles. For years, she battled stubborn headaches and afternoon fatigue. She chalked it up to getting older, blaming her age for her cloudy mind and low energy. Then, during a routine visit, her doctor asked about her daily water intake. Mary realized she barely drank 2 glasses most days. Taking the advice to heart, she started each morning with a tall glass of water and kept a bottle by her gardening bench. It wasn't a dramatic overnight transformation, but within weeks, she noticed her headaches faded, her thinking cleared, and she even felt steadier on her feet as she tended her roses. "I didn't realize how thirsty I'd been for years," she told me, laughing. "I feel like I got a piece of my old self back." Drinking more water might sound like a small change, almost too simple to matter. But often, it's these basic habits that hold the most power. When you care for your body's simplest needs, you're sending yourself a message. You matter, and your health matters. Hydration is an act of self-care, a way to honor your body every day. So if you find yourself reaching for coffee but forgetting water, or brushing off that nagging headache as just age, I encourage you to listen to your body's gentle signals. Pour yourself a glass of water, savor it, and imagine all the good you're doing from the inside out. Small steps, taken with care, can lead to brighter days, steadier energy, and a stronger sense of vitality. No matter your age, it's never too late, or too simple, to give your body what it truly needs. Let every glass of water be a small toast to feeling young, today and every day. Of water as your daily companion, you'll be amazed by the difference it makes. Habit 2. Take gentle walks daily. It's a quiet afternoon, and you look out your window at the neighborhood street. Maybe you see the postman strolling by or a couple walking their dog, their laughter echoing down the sidewalk. Once upon a time, you might have joined them without a second thought, but these days, it's easy to let the hours slip by as you settle into your favorite chair. You might think to yourself, "I used to walk more, but now my joints ache, and it feels safer to stay in." It's a familiar story for so many people over 65. The gentle walks that used to be a part of daily life start to fade, replaced by the comfort of home. Sometimes it's the weather, sometimes it's worries about balance, and sometimes it's just the sense that walking is no longer enough to make a real difference. But here's a question to challenge that thought. What if those short, gentle walks you used to take around the block or through the park are exactly what your body and spirit still need? Maybe now more than ever. What if moving, even a little, isn't about pushing yourself, but about keeping yourself truly alive, connected, and independent? It's easy to believe that exercise has to be intense to count, or that only the young get the full benefit of physical activity. But science tells a very different story, especially for those of us in our golden years. Let's pause for a moment and look at why walking matters. Our bodies were designed to move. As we age, we lose muscle mass and bone density. Our balance and flexibility can also decline. But gentle, regular movement helps fight these changes. Studies from the CDC and Mayo Clinic have shown that even a modest amount of daily walking can boost circulation, strengthen the heart, improve mood, and sharpen the mind. Walking also supports joint health by keeping them lubricated, and helps reduce the risk of chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and even some forms of dementia. Importantly, walking isn't just good for your body. It can be a lifeline for your emotional health. Stepping outside, breathing fresh air, seeing familiar faces, and feeling the rhythm of your steps can lift your spirits and ease loneliness. The best part is that walking doesn't require special equipment or gym memberships. You don't have to set records or power through pain. A gentle walk, can be as simple as circling your backyard, making a lap through your local park, or walking up and down the hallway if the weather keeps you indoors. What matters most is consistency. Try to find a time each day that fits your rhythm, maybe after breakfast or before sunset, and treat that walk like an appointment with yourself. If you feel uncertain about your balance, use a cane or walking stick, or invite a friend, neighbor, or family member to join you. Sometimes, companionship makes the walk not just easier, but far more enjoyable. Start small if you need to. 5 or 10 minutes is perfectly fine. If you haven't been active, even getting up and moving around the house more often can help. If you like to track progress, you might use a simple pedometer or phone app to count your steps. But remember, it's not about the numbers. It's about showing up for yourself, one step at a time. Pay attention to how you feel. Your breathing, your posture, the way the sunlight hits your face. Let yourself savor the moment rather than rush through it. If walking outside isn't an option, consider gentle indoor movement, such as walking in place or following along with a light exercise video for seniors. Let me share the story of John, a retired postal worker from Ohio. When he first turned 70, John noticed that his legs felt heavier and he got winded walking to the mailbox. He chalked it up to aging and gradually spent more time sitting at home, watching TV, and reading. But one winter, after a nasty slip on his icy porch, John's daughter encouraged him to try walking inside the local mall with her. They started with slow, short strolls, side by side, stopping often to rest. Over a few months, John's confidence grew. His legs felt stronger, his mood improved, and he even made new friends among the mall walkers. Now, several years later, John still walks daily, sometimes at the mall, sometimes with his granddaughter at the park, always at his own pace. It's not about how far I go, he says. It's about moving forward, even if it's just a little each day. It gives me something to look forward to and keeps me connected to the world. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. If you're reading this and thinking, walking won't make much difference at my age, I urge you to give it a try. Every step you take is a gift to your body and a celebration of your independence. It doesn't matter if you start slow, or if your route is short. What matters is that you move, with kindness toward yourself and a spirit of adventure, no matter how small. Over time, these gentle walks can become a treasured part of your routine, bringing you energy, confidence, and moments of quiet joy. So, pull on your comfortable shoes, open your door, and take that first step. The world is still out there, waiting to greet you, and you're never too old to enjoy the simple, life-giving power of a gentle walk. Habit 3. Eat fresh, nutritious foods. It's easy to fall into a comfortable routine, especially when it comes to food. Maybe you find yourself reaching for the same box of crackers every afternoon, or microwaving the same frozen dinner a few nights a week. After all, it's convenient, and it fills you up, so what could be wrong with that? For many older adults, especially those living alone or with limited energy, meal times can start to feel more like chores than pleasures. Grocery trips become less frequent, and processed foods quietly slip into the everyday menu. You might not even notice when your plate is missing color. No greens, no berries, just shades of beige and brown. It's a scene so familiar that it hardly seems worth questioning. Eating simply becomes something you do on autopilot, without much thought to how it might be shaping the way you feel each day. But here's a question to consider. What if the food you choose is doing more than just filling your stomach? What if it's quietly shaping your mood, your memory, your strength, even how young or old you feel inside? We often hear that eating well is important, but it's easy to brush off as advice meant for someone younger, someone who cooks for a crowd, or someone with more energy than you feel these days. But the truth is, food isn't just fuel. It's medicine, it's comfort, and perhaps most of all, it's a tool for keeping your body and mind as vibrant as possible, no matter your age. Let's take a closer look at why this matters so much after 65. As we age, Our bodies need fewer calories but more nutrients to keep running smoothly. Our metabolism slows, muscle mass naturally declines, and it becomes easier to miss out on key vitamins and minerals that support everything from our bones to our brains. For example, nutrients like calcium, vitamin D, B12, potassium, and fiber become more important as we grow older. At the same time, our sense of taste may change, our appetite may shrink, and chewing or digestion can sometimes become tricky. It's no wonder so many older adults end up relying on packaged foods, processed snacks, or skipping meals entirely. Science has a lot to say about how nutrition shapes the aging process. Studies from the National Institute on Aging and Harvard Medical School show that diets rich in colorful vegetables, fresh fruits, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats can lower the risk of chronic diseases, heart problems, diabetes, certain cancers, and even help protect memory and mood. Antioxidants in berries, leafy greens, and tomatoes help fight off inflammation, while omega-3 fatty acids in salmon and walnut support brain health. Simple, wholesome foods don't just help you live longer. They help you live better, with more energy, sharper thinking, and a stronger immune system. On the flip side, a steady diet of processed foods, sugary drinks, and too much salt or unhealthy fats can quietly sap your vitality, making you feel sluggish, forgetful, or more prone to illness. So, what can you do if you want to eat fresher, more nutritious foods but don't want the hassle or expense of gourmet cooking? The good news is, you don't need fancy recipes or hard-to-find ingredients. Start small and keep it simple. Next time you shop, choose a few fresh vegetables, spinach, carrots, broccoli, or grab a container of fresh berries or apples. Try replacing white bread or crackers with whole grain options. Add a handful of nuts, a boiled egg, or a piece of grilled chicken or salmon to your salads. If you love comfort foods, find easy ways to boost nutrition. Add extra veggies to your soups and casseroles, swap out cream for Greek yogurt, or top your oatmeal with fresh fruit and cinnamon. If grocery shopping is difficult, look for stores that deliver, or ask a neighbor, friend, or family member to help. Many senior centers and community groups offer meal programs with fresh options, and local farmers markets can be wonderful places to find affordable produce while connecting with others. When energy is low, prepare a few things ahead of time: a big salad, a pot of soup, a tray of roasted vegetables, to make healthy eating as easy as grabbing a snack from the pantry. Let me share a story about Linda, a retired teacher in Wisconsin. For years, Linda relied on quick meals and store-bought snacks, thinking it was just easier than cooking for one. She began to notice she was tired all the time, her joints ached, and her doctor told her she was at risk for high blood pressure. Feeling discouraged, Linda almost accepted that this was simply what getting older feels like. But one spring, her granddaughter invited her to help plant a vegetable garden. Week by week, Linda started bringing home baskets of tomatoes, green beans, and leafy greens. She began making simple salads, steaming veggies with dinner, and snacking on berries instead of cookies. Within months, Linda noticed she felt lighter, her mind was clearer, and her blood pressure numbers improved. "It surprised me how much better I felt just eating real food again," Linda says with a smile. "And the best part is, my meals became something I looked forward to, not just something to get through." Changing your eating habits doesn't have to be overwhelming, expensive, or time-consuming. Start with one small step: a piece of fruit with breakfast, a new vegetable with dinner, or switching to whole grain bread. Each fresh, nutritious choice is a quiet investment in your energy, memory, and joy. Eating well isn't about being perfect. It's about caring for yourself a little more with every bite. So next time you find yourself reaching for a boxed meal out of habit, pause for a moment. Ask yourself if there's a small way to bring a little color and freshness back to your plate. Your body will thank you, your spirits will lift, and you'll discover that feeling younger can start with something as simple and delicious as your very next meal. Habit 4. Maintain social connections. There are days when the house feels just a little too quiet. Maybe the phone hasn't rung since yesterday, Or you realize it's been weeks since you last shared a cup of coffee with a friend. The television might be on for company, but somehow, the silence feels even louder after the news is over. For many people after 65, the world seems to slow down, and familiar faces may move away, loved ones pass on, and family members get busier with their own lives. You might tell yourself that you're used to solitude, that you've learned to make your happiness, but deep down, there's a quiet ache, a longing for laughter in the living room, for the simple joy of conversation, for someone to ask how your day was. It's easy to assume that feeling lonely is just part of getting older, something you're supposed to get used to. But here's a gentle challenge to that idea. What if loneliness isn't something you have to accept? What if it's not age itself, but the gradual loss of meaningful connection that makes the years feel heavier? And, most importantly, what if you could take simple steps, right now, to feel more engaged, more alive, and more loved, no matter what your calendar looks like? Modern science offers a powerful answer to these questions. Research from Harvard's long-term studies on aging and happiness shows that maintaining strong social ties is one of the most important predictors of health, memory, and even longevity in later life. People who stay connected, with friends, family, neighbors, or community groups, are less likely to suffer from depression, anxiety, or cognitive decline. Their immune systems are stronger, their hearts are healthier, and their days are often brighter, even during tough times. Social interaction, it turns out, is like nourishment for the soul. It boosts mood, sharpens thinking, and reminds us that we belong, that we matter. The good news is that maintaining social connections doesn't require a packed social calendar or constant outings. It's about quality, not quantity. Maybe it's a phone call to an old friend, an email exchange with a former colleague, or sharing stories with the cashier at your local grocery store. It could be joining a book club, taking part in church activities, volunteering for a cause you care about, or attending weekly community classes. Even small interactions, chatting with a neighbor, sending a postcard, or sitting on a bench at the park and saying hello to passers-by, can bring comfort and meaning to your day. Sometimes, just knowing someone else is thinking of you can make all the difference. If you find reaching out feels daunting, you're not alone. Many people worry about being a burden, about awkwardness, or about not knowing what to say. But remember, loneliness is more common than most people admit, and chances are, the person you reach out to is longing for connection too. Don't wait for others to make the first move. Your call, your smile, and your invitation could be the highlight of someone else's day as well. Let me share a story about Mike, a widower in his late 70s who lives in a small town in upstate New York. After his wife passed away, Mike found himself retreating into his home, his days blending in a quiet haze. One afternoon, while sorting through mail, he came across a flyer for a local dance class at the community center. It took courage, but he decided to show up, figuring he'd just watch from the sidelines. Instead, he was greeted with warm smiles and gentle encouragement. Within a few weeks, Mike found himself laughing, learning new steps, and even making friends with people he'd never met before. The dance classes didn't just get him moving, they got him living again. "I never thought I'd dance at my age," Mike says, "but it's the friendships that keep me coming back. I look forward to every Thursday now." If getting out isn't easy for you, maybe because of health, mobility, or distance, remember, technology can help bridge the gap. A simple phone call, video chat, or even exchanging messages through social media can bring you closer to family or friends far away. Grandchildren might love a quick video call, or you can share photos and updates with loved ones on Facebook. Libraries and senior centers often offer help for learning new technology, so don't be afraid to ask. Here's a gentle nudge. Take one small step this week to reconnect. Call someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Invite a neighbor over for coffee, even if it's just for a short chat. Sign up for a group activity you're curious about, or send a note to someone who might appreciate hearing from you. These gestures may feel small, but they are powerful acts of self-care and kindness. Remember, Maintaining social connections isn't just about avoiding loneliness. It's about celebrating the relationships and stories that have shaped your life, and about welcoming new ones, too. Every conversation, every shared memory, and every smile has the power to add meaning and joy to your days. So, if you're feeling isolated or hesitant, know that you're not alone, and it's never too late to reach out, to reconnect, and to let yourself be seen and heard. The simple act of staying connected may be one of the most important gifts you can give yourself at any age. Let your heart stay open, your voice be heard, and your story continue to unfold, surrounded by the warmth and friendship you truly deserve. Habit 5. Cultivate a positive mindset. Practice meditation or mindfulness. There are days when the worries pile up quietly in the background. Concerns about health, family, or simply the changes that come with time. Maybe you wake up feeling restless or notice your mind racing with what-ifs long after the lights are out. It's normal to feel this way. After all, life at 65 and beyond can bring its share of challenges. You might think that these anxious moments or restless nights are simply part of aging, something to accept and live with. Many people do. But here's a gentle question to consider. What if there was a way to calm that noise, to find moments of peace no matter what life throws your way? What if cultivating a positive mindset wasn't just about thinking happy thoughts, but about training your mind to be present, calm, and more resilient? If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. You're probably familiar with the word meditation, but maybe it sounds mysterious or too new age to fit your daily life. Or perhaps you've heard about mindfulness, but aren't sure where to start or if it's really for you. The truth is that meditation and mindfulness are simply tools, gentle, practical ways to help your mind settle, reduce stress, and improve your overall well-being. And they are backed by a growing body of scientific research showing powerful benefits, especially for seniors. As we age, our brains naturally face more challenges. Memory lapses, slower processing, or feelings of overwhelm. Chronic stress and anxiety can make these symptoms worse, affecting sleep, mood, and even physical health. However, studies from institutions like Johns Hopkins and UCLA show that regular mindfulness and meditation practice can reduce anxiety, improve memory, enhance attention, and promote better sleep. These practices help rewire the brain's response to stress, calming the nervous system and allowing you to face each day with more clarity and calm. The best part? You don't need special equipment, a lot of time, or even a quiet room to get started. It's accessible, simple, and adaptable to your life. So how can you gently bring mindfulness or meditation into your day? It can be as easy as taking a few minutes each morning to sit comfortably and focus on your breathing. Pay attention to the feeling of air moving in and out, the rise and fall of your chest, or the sounds around you without judgment. If your mind wanders, that's okay. Simply notice it and gently bring your attention back to your breath. You might try a guided meditation app designed for beginners, or listen to calming music or nature sounds to help you relax. Some people find walking meditation, walking slowly and mindfully, paying attention to each step, an enjoyable way to combine movement and mindfulness. Another simple mindfulness practice is to engage fully in everyday activities. When you eat, savor each bite and notice the flavors and textures. When you wash your hands or brush your teeth, focus on the sensations rather than rushing through the task. These small moments can anchor you in the present and reduce stress. Let me tell you about Susan, a retired librarian from Oregon. After her husband passed, Susan found herself overwhelmed by grief and anxiety. Sleep was elusive, and her days felt heavy with worry. A friend suggested she try meditation, and although skeptical, Susan started with just 5 minutes a day. She used a free app with gentle instructions and soon discovered moments of calm she hadn't felt in months. Over time, meditation became her sanctuary, a quiet refuge she could return to any time. Susan says it didn't make her problems disappear, but it helped her face them with a steadier heart and a clearer mind. "It's like giving my brain a little vacation," she says. And that makes all the difference. If you're wondering whether mindfulness or meditation can fit into your life, start small. 5 minutes a day is enough to begin noticing changes. The key is consistency and kindness toward yourself. There is no right way to practice, only what feels good for you. Don't worry if your mind feels busy or restless. That's perfectly normal. Each moment you bring yourself back to the present is a moment of healing. Remember, cultivating a positive mindset through meditation and mindfulness is a gift you give yourself. It's a quiet way to nurture your mental and emotional health, reduce stress, and create space for joy and gratitude in your life. No matter your age or experience, it's never too late to begin. So, when the next restless thought arises or you feel weighed down by worries, try taking a few deep breaths and focusing on the here and now. Let your mind rest, even for a moment. Over time, these moments will add up, helping you feel more peaceful, centered, and connected to the life you're living today. And that, truly, is a powerful step toward feeling young at heart, no matter the number of candles on your birthday cake. Habit 6. Establish healthy sleep patterns. There's something about nighttime that can feel both peaceful and frustrating as we grow older. Maybe you've noticed that falling asleep isn't as easy as it used to be. You lie awake for what feels like hours, watching the minutes tick by on the clock. Or perhaps you wake up several times during the night, unable to slip back into rest. When morning comes, you feel tired and groggy instead of refreshed, wondering if you'll ever again enjoy a full night's sleep. For many people over 65, these sleep struggles are familiar and often shrugged off as just part of getting old. But what if they didn't have to be? What if establishing healthy sleep patterns could help you reclaim your nights and your days with more energy and clarity? It's easy to assume that poor sleep is inevitable with age, but research tells a different story. While it's true that our sleep cycles change as we get older, good sleep is still absolutely achievable and crucial for health. The National Sleep Foundation and numerous medical experts emphasize that quality sleep supports memory, mood, immune function, and physical healing, areas that become even more important as we age. Chronic sleep problems are linked to increased risks of heart disease, diabetes, depression, and cognitive decline. The brain uses sleep to clear out toxins and consolidate memories, which is why a restful night is like a reset button for both body and mind. So why does sleep get harder? Part of it is natural. Older adults tend to spend less time in deep sleep, and their internal body clocks may shift, causing earlier bedtimes and wake-up times. But lifestyle habits, medications, stress, and environmental factors can all make it worse. Drinking caffeine late in the day, irregular sleep schedules, too much screen time before bed, or noisy surroundings can interfere with the brain's ability to wind down. Without good habits, sleep problems can easily become a cycle that's tough to break. The good news is that you can take gentle, effective steps to improve your sleep, and it doesn't require drastic changes or expensive treatments. Start by setting a consistent bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends. Going to bed and getting up at roughly the same time helps regulate your body's internal clock, making falling asleep and waking up easier. Create a relaxing bedtime routine that signals to your brain it's time to wind down. This might include reading a favorite book, listening to soothing music, or practicing deep breathing or gentle stretches. Avoid caffeine, heavy meals, and alcohol in the evening, as they can disrupt sleep quality. Make your bedroom a sanctuary for rest. Keep it cool, quiet, and dark, and invest in comfortable pillows and bedding that support your body's needs. If noise is an issue, consider white noise machines or earplugs. Limit screen time at least an hour before bed. Blue light from phones, tablets, and TVs can interfere with melatonin production, the hormone that helps regulate sleep. Instead, try activities that calm your mind and prepare you for restful sleep. If you find yourself awake during the night, resist the urge to watch the clock or stress about not sleeping. Instead, get out of bed and do a quiet, calming activity like reading or listening to soft music until you feel sleepy again. Keep lights dim to avoid signaling your brain that it's daytime. Let me share the story of David, a 72-year-old retired firefighter from Texas. For years, David struggled with fragmented sleep and early morning awakenings. He often felt exhausted, which affected his mood and motivation. His doctor suggested he try some simple sleep hygiene changes. David began going to bed at the same time every night, stopped drinking coffee after 2 p.m., and made his bedroom darker and quieter. He also developed a calming pre-sleep routine, including gentle stretches and listening to relaxing music. Within weeks, David noticed he was falling asleep faster and waking up less during the night. "It was like someone finally gave me back my nights," he said. "Now, I wake up feeling ready to face the day, and that's made all the difference." Healthy sleep patterns aren't about perfection. They're about respect and care for your body's natural rhythms. It's normal to have occasional restless nights, but when you nurture good habits consistently, your sleep can become more restorative and refreshing. Remember, you deserve to rest well. Sleep is not a luxury. It's a vital part of your health and happiness. So, if you're still struggling with sleep, I encourage you to take small steps. Pick a bedtime that feels right, create a relaxing evening routine, and make your bedroom a peaceful haven. Give your body the gift of deep, uninterrupted rest. Over time, these changes will help you wake up more refreshed, with a clearer mind and a lighter heart, ready to embrace the day ahead. Because no matter your age, good sleep is a foundation for feeling vibrant, healthy, and alive. Habit 7. Keep up with regular health checkups and listen to your body. As we get older, it's easy to think that aches, pains, or changes in how we feel are just part of the natural aging process, things to accept quietly and move past. Maybe you've noticed new symptoms, like unusual fatigue, minor aches, or changes in appetite or mood, but brushed them off because they seemed small or because you didn't want to bother the doctor. Or perhaps you've skipped a checkup here and there, thinking, "I feel fine," or "nothing serious will happen." For many people over 65, this kind of thinking is common. It's a quiet, often unspoken assumption that health problems will announce themselves loudly if they're really serious. But here's a gentle challenge. What if listening closely to your body and staying on top of your healthcare isn't just important? It's one of the smartest, most caring things you can do for yourself. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It's true that some health changes come slowly and can be subtle. Chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease, or osteoporosis don't always cause immediate discomfort but can have serious consequences if left unchecked. Regular health checkups provide a chance to catch these silent issues early when treatment is often easier and more effective. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, and many medical experts strongly recommend that seniors schedule routine screenings, vaccinations, and assessments tailored to their individual needs. These visits aren't just about tests and numbers. They're about partnering with your healthcare team to stay well, prevent problems, and maintain your independence. Scientific research shows that seniors who keep up with regular health appointments are more likely to manage chronic conditions successfully and avoid hospital stays. Listening to your body, being aware of new or changing symptoms and communicating them openly with your doctor is key to this process. For example, something as simple as an unusual ache, persistent cough, or sudden changes in mood or memory can be early signs that deserve attention. Ignoring these signals often leads to delayed diagnosis and more complicated treatment. So how do you make this habit part of your life in a way that feels manageable and positive? Start by scheduling an annual checkup if you don't already have one. Use these visits to ask questions, discuss any concerns, and review your medications. Bring a list of any new symptoms or changes you've noticed. Don't hesitate to mention even things that seem minor or embarrassing. Your healthcare providers are there to help, not judge. Keep track of your appointments and test results, and make sure you're up to date on vaccines like flu and pneumonia shots. Outside of scheduled visits, Practice tuning in to your body daily. Notice how you feel after meals, during activities, and at rest. If something feels off, don't hesitate to reach out to a nurse or doctor for advice. Sometimes a phone call can prevent a bigger issue down the road. Remember, you know your body best, and advocating for your health is a vital part of aging well. I want to share a story about Helen, a 76-year-old retired nurse from Florida. Helen had always been active and careful about her health, but she started experiencing occasional dizziness and forgetfulness. At first, she thought it was just getting old, and didn't mention it during her doctor visits. One day, after nearly fainting while gardening, she finally spoke up about her symptoms. Her doctor ran some tests and discovered Helen was developing low blood pressure and early-stage cognitive changes. Thanks to early detection, Helen was able to adjust her medications, make lifestyle changes, and enroll in a memory support program. "I'm so glad I didn't ignore what my body was telling me," Helen says. "Getting help early has made a huge difference in how I live each day." Keeping up with your healthcare and listening to your body isn't always easy. It can be tiring, or sometimes scary to face potential problems. But it's also one of the most empowering ways to take control of your well-being. Each appointment, each honest conversation, and each small step you take to understand your body is an act of kindness to yourself. It's about honoring your life, your independence, and your future. So if you've been putting off a doctor's visit or dismissing a symptom as nothing, I encourage you to rethink that approach. Commit to prioritizing your health by scheduling regular checkups, asking questions, and tuning in to your body's messages. Remember, your health is your most valuable asset, and you deserve the best care and attention at every age. With each step you take to care for yourself, you're building a stronger, healthier foundation for the days, months, and years ahead. Listening to your body and partnering with your healthcare team will help you stay vibrant, confident, and ready to enjoy all the wonderful moments life still has to offer. Because feeling young isn't just about what you do, it's about how deeply you care for yourself every day. As we've explored together today, staying vibrant and feeling young after 70 doesn't require grand gestures or drastic changes. It's the small, thoughtful habits: drinking enough water, taking gentle walks, choosing fresh, nutritious foods, maintaining meaningful connections, nurturing a positive mindset, establishing healthy sleep routines, and keeping up with regular health checkups that quietly add up to a stronger, happier, and more energized you. Each habit is like a small step on a lifelong journey of caring for yourself with kindness and intention. These steps remind us that aging is not about slowing down or giving up, but about embracing new ways to honor our bodies, minds, and spirits. It's about finding joy in simple moments, staying connected to the people who matter, and listening deeply to what your body needs. Remember, it's never too late to start. You don't have to be perfect or change everything overnight. Just choose one habit to focus on today and build from there. Celebrate every small victory and be gentle with yourself when life gets busy or challenging. The path to feeling young again is paved with patience, persistence, and love, for yourself above all. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope these ideas inspire you to take charge of your health and happiness in a way that feels right for you. Your best years are still ahead, full of possibility and promise. Keep moving forward, step by step, with hope and confidence. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe so we can continue this journey together. Here's to your health, your joy, and your bright, beautiful future. Stay well, and take good care of yourself.